Hey guys, welcome to Solar Corp Update 15. Today I'm going to be talking to you about all the new ships I've made, and they're ships I've made for a faction known as the New Earth Union. So these guys used to be the prison guards that would guard the Vakar system. Alright, so I'm going to hop right into it, and I'm going to show you guys the ships in alphabetical order. And we're going to start here with this ship, which is called the Annihilator. And it's a battleship. And a few things about the game itself. One thing that I wanted to note was I added some controller support. So here's my trusty Xbox 360 controller. And that's what I'm using today, which is why the camera angles and whatnot look so smooth. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that I upgraded the way that the boost system looks. So before, you remember there were all these trails on the spaceships. I got rid of the trails because I didn't like them. And I also added, now if I hit the boost button, you see that those engines glow, and when I release, they stop. And the same thing's true if I'm jumping sector to sector here, so you can see when we're jumping now that they light up pretty brightly as well. Controller support works for everything except for the terminals, which you still have to interact with your mouse. So yeah, that's the Annihilator, and just to give you kind of a scale comparison, here's our docking port. And now if I back out, and then here's the size of it compared to that. Alright, so the next ship I want to show is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and this is probably the smallest ship in the game. This ship is known as the Ant. So this is just, if you're looking for a tiny fast ship with one weapon, and you like the way that the NEU designs look better, then this is a good ship for that. So it's fast. It's not as fast as some of the other Obalon ships, but it definitely is very similar. This next ship, the name's going to be familiar to you guys, but the way the ship looks won't. So this is the Asp, and yes, that is the same Asp that was earlier. And the Asp is a good ship if you want this kind of balance of, if you want the most powerful small ship you can get for your money. So here you can see it in flight. Yeah, and that's it for the Asp. Alright, so next I'm going to show you guys the only other big ship in the New Earth Union lineup, and this is the Fortitude. If you buy the Fortitude, you're more looking for something that can do high volumes of trading. You can see this can hold 500 crates of cargo. So here it is, cumbersome because it's so big, but the turn rate's actually pretty decent on this. And just for size comparison, here's its relative size to the docking area of the station. So yeah, maybe this will give a better visual. Alright, so the next ship's one of my favorites, and this one is if you wanted a small ship that still had a good deal of armor, but you also wanted something that would go really fast. So here's the Orbiter. The story behind this one is that it used to be a racing ship known as the Stallion, and that it was taken and modified and outfitted for space. As you can see, very fast. Here's how quick it can turn around. Guess I'm not joining the racing leagues anytime soon. Okay, now we get into the medium NEU ships, and we're going to start it off with a ship known as the Prowler. So the Prowler was meant to be a drop ship, so it would be like a heavily armored troop transport kind of deal. If you want a ship that can carry some cargo, but can also do very well in a fight. Just to prove how tough it is, let's take it and let's ram it at full speed into the station, so we can see how much of its shield it preserves. Yeah, as you can see, that made a tiny dent in the shield up there. So this would do very well in a fight. This next ship is another one of those ones where the name's going to sound really familiar, but it's been changed a lot. This is the Shrike, the modified Shrike. So just like the old Shrike, this one is meant to be able to carry a lot of cargo, get in a fight, and just really the purpose of the Shrike was to be a really good all-rounder, and that's definitely what you get with this. So that's about all there is for the Shrike. 30 crates of cargo, which is pretty decent for a medium ship. And last but not least, alphabetically, here is again another one of my favorites, the Valiant. And the Valiant is a lot similar to the Pangolin, It's got that same idea of let's carry a lot of cargo. You can see it's got 50 crates. The Shrike only had 30. And let's carry a lot of cargo and be incredibly tough. Let's do the same thing we did with the other one. Let's do the full speed ram into a station. And again, it just creates the tiniest of dents here. Alright, so to conclude this devlog, there was something that I wanted to talk about, and that is stations. So this station was literally towards the beginning of the project, just something I threw together in Blender. They look a lot better now, but the problem is that they still are kind of lacking something. Like, they're not very interesting, and there's only 2 of them. There wasn't too much thought put into them. So what I'm planning to do over the course of the next month is to completely rework the stations, add more stations, that type of a thing. So yeah, in this week's build, if you download it, you can go out and you can buy all those ships that were here, and then I'll just keep working on stations over the next months. What was really successful that I did for game development with this is that I made all the ship parts modular. So for example, this part of the body of the ship's modular, the wings modular, and then I could combine them together in interesting ways. And I'm actually planning on doing a similar thing with the stations. I also, on this channel, as an announcement, passed the 40 subscriber mark, so thank you guys so much for subscribing. In the past, when I worked on video games, I would start a game and then never finish it, start another game and never finish it. Having a community here around this game and just trying to be consistent with it has turned it into a game that I really like. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you in 2 weeks.